Okay, this is Grandmaster Gary Lee again, and my green belt student J.D. Lopez. We're going to do some martial arts that's a little more extreme today. We're going to show you some of the black arts of martial arts. These are the techniques that break parts of the body, dislocate and tear up the body. And these techniques are going to be using two forms of martial arts. The first form is Aikido, allowing a person to throw a punch or something and you deflect it. And then, after you've deflected, you get what is called a joint lock on the person. And then you do an iron palm, which is the second part of the martial arts, which is the Kaji Kempo iron palm techniques. And you break the joint or dislocate the joint by applying pressure or a strike. Okay, now, first thing we want to do is explain to you that when you're in a fight and somebody's throwing a punch, and I mean, they're going to hit you. Why stand there and do this? No, they still may hit you. The idea is to simply do this. To the left. Step out. Okay. Now, you see he rocked back out of the way and he blocks me. Another thing to do would be to step out as he blocks. Okay. Stepping out also can step forward, and this can put you closer to the person. Or stepping back, making him have to go further and then extending beyond himself. In Aikido, we teach be defensive, so we step back and we pull them into us and take them off their balance. Their center of balance is basically where they throw the punch. Get in the stance and go to throw a punch. Okay, now, for him to now make connection, he's got to step forward again or move forward, and I step back again. But as I'm stepping back, I move out to the side, and then I move past him. And with this, I'm not holding him, but yet I'm controlling him to where he has to fall. And all it is my counterbalance against his balance. All right, that's Aikido. Now, the thing is that in Aikido, instead of me staying in front of him, it's like he's a car. He's going to hit me no matter what I do. So this is not going to help. Most of the time it doesn't. And you do get hit. You may cause a deflection so you don't get hit as strong, but you're still going to get hit. So what we want you to learn to do is don't stand there and take the punch. Step out to the side and move away from the punch. And that's how you defend yourself. It's like standing on railroad tracks. And believe me, you've seen my breaking techniques and you've seen my video of me breaking with my head. Do you want my student or me to hit you with what I call full force martial arts, which is what breaks the ice and the bricks and the boards that we break? And that's like standing in the middle of railroad tracks. Give me that term. Standing in the middle of railroad tracks. If J.D. and I are both on the tracks and there's a train coming, do you think we can block with our hands and stop a train? Or even a car? Or a motorcycle? Anything coming at us at good speed. Do you think we can actually block it? So how do we avoid getting hit by that? Now the train can go by and not hurt either one of us. That is why we are telling you, don't stand there and try and block a punch. It's ridiculous. Okay, now, the second part is called iron palm. Most martial artists hit with a closed fist. Close the fist, and that's a good, powerful punch. But iron palm is a palm technique where we don't even use the fist. We use our open hands. And we hit with the palm of the hand We hit with the back of the hand, or we hit with the ridge of the hand. The knife's edge is what they call it. And the palm is this right here. These blows can do a lot of damage on a person, and a prime example of an iron palm strike, I'm going to stand here, both feet put together, come here, get into a deep stance, come closer. We're going to put the palm of my, do a different, left side. Okay, come closer. Okay, now I'm going to put my hand on his chest. He's in a stance that can absorb, well, come on, absorb, okay, can absorb a lot of punch. So now I'm standing with both my feet together. I have no center of balance. It's very tiny, very thin. I place my hand on his chest, and then all I do is close my hand. And you see what it makes him have to do. He has to step away. He has to bounce back. And it does hurt. Now, if I turn, stand there, and I'm standing clear over here, and I step in and I hit, I can crack his ribs, break his sternum, I can crush his chest and knock him for a loop. He'd be out of camera view. And then you wouldn't be able to enjoy him falling and everything, which you seem to love to see on YouTube. Okay, so we're not going to do that to JD because he's a very important student to me. He's only a green belt, and he someday would like to be a black belt, hopefully with all of his body parts still working. Okay, so today we're going to show you joint lock techniques that turn into joint break techniques. One of them is a person grabs you in a two-handed chokehold. In Hoshin-Ryu, we use just one hand this side. Okay. Now, in normal cases, he'd have both hands on me. Go ahead and reach up here again. Okay, now pull the hand down. Leave it right there. Okay, and what we do is we take and make a pointy finger with this and reinforce it with the thumb and the forefinger and poke it into his larynx. But using the iron palm techniques and everything, we would do something like this. Go ahead and grab both hands. Crack against themselves, breaking both elbows. And all we're doing is this. Go ahead and face. And we come up and we clap our hands together. That's all we're doing. Just clapping our hands. Okay. That clapping is enough to break both elbows on an attacker. The thing is, it does break the elbows. And it also puts the attacker in a lot of pain. So you can turn a chokehold around to that. Now we have another technique, and it's called number two. Number two strikes. He's getting a little touchy on this one. Number two comes up and hits in here, underneath the pit of the arm, and it strikes upwards and causes them to release you. Well, we take number two a little bit further than that. We take the heel of the hand, we drop our weight down, and then we hit lower ribs. And we crack the lower ribs with the heel of the hand. That's why that works. Okay. Now, the third one, chokehold break, is very simple. He's holding me. I reach up with the palm of my hand and press against his chin and push it away by turning my shoulder towards him. Okay, now you'll drop one hand so they can see what I'm going to do. Okay, now he's choking me with two hands, and instead I take and ridge my thumb to its knuckle like that, and I make what is known as a ridge hand. The ridge hand. This is the ridge hand. And what I do is I come up and I hit that knuckle into his throat and turn my body at the same time I hit. Need I tell you what that's going to do to the throat? Imagine the worst sleeper hold ever done by a choker, a chokehold. It's going to cause more damage than that on his throat. It will crush the larynx and he's suffocating. So he's not going to live. Okay, unless you do a tracheotomy. All right, then we have number four. Okay, Now, number 4, a person grabs me in the chokehold, two-handed. I take and bring my arm up over the top, and I grab the wrist. I drop my elbow, and I push the person over. This would be an Aikido elbow lock. But now, this is what you do in Hoshin-ryu. He grabs you. Now, this is only for senior students. We drop it down, we bring him over, and then we take and drop our weight into it and break it right behind the elbow, which puts him in a lot of hurt. All right, then we have number 5. Number 5 is a lot of my students' favorite one. It is 3 hits, and it already uses the arm palm technique. Now, the 3 hits are 1 to the inside of the elbow, then making what is known as the ox jaw, the cocking the wrist, hit the other elbow, then straighten the hand out and hit with the heel of the hand or the heel of the iron palm onto his jaw. This would normally crack the jaw or knock him away, and it can break. But now I'm going to show you the deadliest part of this. Two-hand choke. Instead of me reaching in and hitting, I reach out and hit. Simple enough, you'd think. As I turn away, I open up the palm of my hand here, and he is going this way, and I've basically dislocated his elbow, or broke it. Then I come back, iron palm, the lower ribs, right here on the left side of his body, cracking them. Then I grab him, pulling towards me, and then I hit an iron palm right in the middle of his back and break his spine, or dislocate a disc. Thank you very much, J.D. I'm sorry to put you through all that torture. It's okay. Okay. So you get the idea. Each of these techniques works really well if you are calm. These are chokehold breaks, advanced chokehold breaks, and the breaking techniques of those chokehold breaks. All right, now, in an ordinary fight, just anybody on the street against anybody on the street. And he's going to fight me, and I get ready, and I act like I'm going to use my fist. But then, before he can start to throw his first punch, I open up the palm of my hand, and I slap it down. Now, when I slap it down, I'm hitting on the joint. And I'm not hitting lightly. I'm hitting with the same power I use to break boards with the palm of my hand, or a block of ice with the palm of my hand. So this is what's going to happen. He goes to throw his punch. No, back up. Okay, and I'm like this, and I open up the palm of my hand, and that's what happens. You okay? No, it didn't hurt you. Okay. All right, and that's what happens to it. Now, after I've knocked his hand down here, and it's back out of the way, I'm open for a punch here. Now, in normal, a martial artist would come for me. But if I just drop my elbow back and come in with the heel of the hand right on the face, it's going to break his neck. And it pulled him out of his position, and it created his center of balance is here. He's going back now against the center of balance, and it will break his neck and knock him unconscious, or the alternative, which I don't really want to talk about. Okay, now, many ask, how do you get out of a sleeper hold? Well, first off, if I told you how to get out of a sleeper hold, what good would the sleeper hold do to me? But let's see how to get out of a real chokehold. Okay, one of them is what they call a number 4. It's when a person makes the letter 4, the number 4 on your back. Okay, these are the V shape, and this is the bottom of the 4. Now, what it looks like is he does this. He comes over, he gets you here. He reaches up with this hand, reaches up, comes around, and JD, what is happening to your throat right now?
Starting to get compressed.
Yeah. Oh, nice voice. Okay, so when that happens, you're starting to lose wind and you're starting to get damage to your throat. Well, you don't want that damage. So, we have techniques to get out of the choke hold. Okay, the first one, a long time ago, I had it on YouTube, and reach up and choke me. Okay, now he's getting a hold of my throat. Go grab your elbow. Okay, now see, now he's got me in a real good grip. He's got me in a good grip. Okay, one of the things you can do is you can reach up and grab this arm, pull down on yourself. Grab, keep your tightness, keep it tight. Okay, now you can see I can keep talking. You turn your neck slightly towards him and then bring your elbow, dropping your hip out of the way, bring your elbow up and into it. Okay, that's one. Okay, now go ahead, grab me again. Get a good hold. Okay, pulling down, reaching over, grabbing the hair. He was not ready for that. Thank you, JD. It's why I'm bald, because that is a wonderful weapon. Say, for an example, if Parkinson's coming up and going to do a two-handed chokehold on me. Block out, reach up, grab the hair, grab the chin, and it's called the neck and hair twister. It's one of Hoshinru's favorite holds to put on a person because no matter where they go, their hair, yeah, I'm sorry, he's going to go wherever I say now, because that is just a terrible attachment. And that's the reason why most of the masters of Hoshinru are clean. Okay, well, that's enough for now on this video because we only get 15 minutes at a time on these videos. So, thank you very much from me and from JD. Okay. I'll tell him who he is later. I think I jerked him around too much. All right, thank you very much. You have a good day.